This is good, isn't it? This is good. This is really good.
Here we go. It's Pompey Pod with Mike, Dan, and Tolly. All the lads are here today. Hello, lads. All right.
Good evening.
See what happens when we win an away game. Everyone turns up. Clean sheet and 3 points away from home. You'd think it's going to be a nice, joyous podcast, wouldn't you? I don't think it's necessarily going to be that way, but we'll see. If you're new to the Pompey Pod, we're the Pompey Pod, and we basically chat about our team. And there are opinions. You just kind of give our opinion. You may not agree with our opinion, but that's perfectly fine. Anyway, we're talking about the Sheffield Wednesday game today. But before we do that, we'll just have a quick look in the Postbag, the Pompey Pod Postbag. What do you think about some of these comments? Last week, Dan, when you pulled your hamstring in the warm-up, me and Tolly spoke about Terry Devlin, and Tolly said Devlin is possibly, without doubt, early contender for Player of the Season. A few people have commented on that. Tony R1967 has said Devlin has blossomed and keeps getting better, like Ogilvie last year, who's awful and slow to start with, but worked hard on his positioning and turned everything around. My favourite two players. Difficult to disagree with that, isn't it?
I wouldn't say Ogilvie was terrible to start.
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah. You think about that Leeds game at the beginning of last season. He nearly gave
he didn't have a very good first couple of games.
No, he had a bit of a shocker. He was way off the pace those first two games. Didn't he concede a penalty against Dan James or something? Was it him who conceded the penalty?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Early goals. Visible comment says, again, regarding Terry Devlin, worried he won't be with us next season, especially if we go down. Looks like a good option for a newly promoted team to the Premiership. Not sure he's Premier League level yet, but certainly top-end Championship. I think he's getting there, isn't he?
I did find it quite funny that I think
you were
Neil
going to
Allen...
say newly promoted. This is good, isn't it? This is good. This is really good.
Over?
Yeah, I'll just ask me yes or no. Just ask me yes or no questions, yeah? Don't leave anything open-ended.
Dan's joining us with the Eurovision Song Contest 1984.
Yeah. I'll sit this one out again this week. I'll just watch.
I was going to say I found it quite funny on Twitter. Neil Allen was talking about Regan Poole being man of the match, and I think he got loaded on by everyone else going, no, what about Devlin? What do you think, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
No point, is there? I'll exit. No. Stop talking. I'll exit, and then you two just carry on because there's no point in this. So
see you next week.
I'll see you next week. Bye.
Ta-da. Bye. Bless him. James Harris 1305 has said he's definitely one of, if not the standout player this season. And finally, on a slightly different note, Brian Nicol 5264 said, I hope Blair is not out too long. He looked like he could make an impact if he could stay fit. Enjoyed the Arsenal game. We gave it a go. You can't ask for any more than that. Blair against Arsenal, what was your thoughts?
Do you know what? It was more than one game ago, Mike. I only have the mental capacity to remember last game.
Okay. He was decent first half. He obviously had an assist.
This is turned into a great pod, isn't it?
Yeah. The only way is up. Let's get to the Sheffield Wednesday game, shall we? Thanks very much for your comments. If you want to get involved, please do so. We will have a similar sort of Pompey Pod Postbag next week. Here we go. Sheffield Wednesday away. Thoughts on this one, Tolly?
Poor. I don't really. I mean, obviously the new new boy, Ali started, didn't he, on the left-hand side? Devlin should have put that away, really. That was a gaping opportunity, but not really much to talk about, was there, from the first half? I think Ali had a few good touches. I think he'll look like he'll do a job for us down there on the left-hand side. But yeah, it was just back to normal. That pass by Shaughnessy is great, by the way.
Lovely.
And then the early cross again. We've seen the benefits of that early cross from Murphy on that left-hand side. Defender does well to get a touch on that, but there's not a lot you can do against once it gets through to Segacic, can you? Nice enough.
Good finish, Segacic.
Yeah, good finish. Yeah, but just again benefits that early cross that we've seen with Murphy, I think. But yeah, it wasn't really a game to. Apart from that, we did a job. We got the 3 points. Ali looked all right. Adams looked good when he came on. I think he'll be a good presence for us in midfield. But yeah, 3 points is all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the main thing. I think the thing with the goal, just taking it back here to where Shockley's got it, it's actually this was the thing that was frustrating me, and obviously we're commenting through the game. And it was driving me mad because we were so poor. We were so after how we played against Arsenal, I was really looking forward to this game, and I thought, okay, here we go. We're if we're up for this is 3 points in the bag. Now, ultimately, we did get the 3 points, so that's positive. But we were so poor, and it was just Sheffield Wednesday. I think the one good thing is that once we did score, they didn't look like getting back into it. But I agree with you. I thought Ali looked a little bit lively, which is interesting, but this ball from Shoxley I think is excellent. It is weighted perfectly, but then also great one touch, get the ball in, and that's what we've lacked, isn't it? That directness. And when we do that, you look at that against Wednesday, we did the same or similar sort of thing against Millwall, direct, just having a shot from distance. When we have that confidence to go forward and just be direct, be positive, it just shows the rewards. And again, Segacic, when he went out to the left, early ball in, it's just like one touch out of his feet, get the ball into the box. Yeah. And it's from a real, it's just every time you see that, you think, it's just shinned, isn't it? It's shinned over the top. It was like
Devlin, his knee.
But yeah, not a great performance, but the win was there. Let's get rid of that.
I just think, like I said to you at the time, so many times we ruin our own momentum. You get a couple of passes together, and it goes down to the right hand side, or it goes to Chaplin or whatever, and you can see a pass that's on, and instead it just goes backwards, and it's almost like recycling it again. When yes, it might have been a risky pass, but there's a better pass on to keep the move going and put a ball in the box, and we just seem to. Just seem to choke at those moments where the players just don't have the confidence to try that ball, and instead it goes back to Poole or Shaughnessy or whatever, and then ends up back in our own area.
Yeah, and I felt was guilty of that most at this weekend. And there's two things he was doing. One was exactly what you just said. It's like rather than have that forward pass, that early forward pass, it would go backwards to either Shaughnessy, Poole, or whoever was behind him. But the other thing, it was Connor Chaplin. Connor Chaplin was driving me mad, absolutely mad. It was just you want that number 10 to be that pivot to be going forward. And every time it seemed like he got the ball, he either went backwards or he'd just stand on the ball for a bit.
Yeah,
and it's like, what is there? Is there a plan here? You just you're waiting for them to close you down. I get you want to drag players out of position, but just to stand on the ball and allow them to, they were set. They were kind of set in defence. Ultimately, from Wednesday's point of view, they're playing for pride this season, aren't they? They're just playing for a bit of pride. If they'd have got a point from that game, they'd probably been quite happy. But I just don't understand where that's coming from, why we're so either completely lacking in confidence, which we shouldn't be after the way we played against Arsenal, or there's a directive is keep hold of the ball. Don't lose possession. Let's just keep possession and we won't concede.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think also part of that is just having the confidence in the players around you as well. And, as we've seen, the team changes so much from one week to the next, depending on who's injured and who's not. And we've seen, there's no consistency in any of those positions. So I guess, if you look at it in terms of, trying to play devil's advocate a little bit, you could kind of say that, well, Conor Chaplin doesn't have any confidence in those people that are around him because he doesn't know who's around him, and he forgets who he's playing with from week to week. And so the safest option, unless you've got Lang and Murphy on those wings, the safest option is to go back, because you don't know what you don't know who you're playing with and what their behaviour is, because we haven't had long enough to find out.
Yeah, I don't know. You see it with other teams where I know you've got to get time for a team to gel, but I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? What I did think was a positive, as you kind of mentioned, is I thought Ali actually looked quite nice on that left-hand side. I thought he played a couple of. He was confident and running at defenders, doing little step overs. Exactly the sort of thing you want your wide player to do, attacking the fullback. Play, when needed to, played the ball in early for that ball which ultimately was for Bishop, but obviously the defender got a toe on it. By the way, I saw one person criticising Bishop for not putting that away.
Oh, really?
It's well, he didn't put it away because it didn't come to him. Actually, this is the thing. Didn't have the chance to. But so it got the ball in early there. But there was also that chance in the first half that he played in Segs with a lovely pass, which was I don't know if you remember, kind of around about 25 minutes in, I guess it was. Just ran at the defence, played a great ball in. Unfortunately, Segic's first touch let him down, but that's what we need, isn't it? Someone who's direct, someone who's positive, somebody who's confident going forward. And people have criticised the fact that he's come from not really playing for a League One side, Luton, but so what? If he does the job for us, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's definitely got that, like you say, he's got that forward thinking attitude, hasn't he? I mean, his touch let him down a few times. There was one was that one late on in the second half when he skinned the right back, got to the byline, and then put a crossing that basically went behind him. But he's, at least he's getting in those positions.
It kind of went more up than across, didn't it? Is like a miss hitting a kind of pitching wedge or something like that.
He couldn't put it there again if he tried, I don't think.
No. But yeah, I thought he was okay. I thought he was real positive. One of our better players. I also thought Adams looked decent without doing anything in particular. But what I liked about Adams is, again, coming back to what you were saying about having not played with people before and being unfamiliar. What I liked about Adams is as soon as he got on that pitch, he was barking at people. You could see he was absolutely kind of bossing people around. He was captain. He was captain at Derby for a lot of the games that he played this season. I don't know about last season, but that's what we need, isn't it? With a leader. We spoke, or you spoke last week about having a Merson-esque. I'm not saying for a second that Adams is that type of player, but I think from a stature, from a leader point of view, I know it's only 30 minutes or whatever he played, but good signs there. I think that he came in, could get around the pitch, but also led the team. Wasn't afraid to lead the team of a team that he'd only been with 24 hours. Yeah,
and also I just think that physical presence as well. Again, like I said to you at the time, we haven't had that kind of, we haven't had a big, brick shithouse in the middle of the midfield for God knows how long. And I just think having someone there that's a physical presence, and that there's a couple of times you're going to get kicked up in the air by him. Dazelle, Pack, they're not that kind of player, are they? None of our central midfielders are that kind of player. So having someone there that other players are a little bit scared of when they see him, I think is going to be a really, really, I think he's going to be really good for us.
Yeah. You saying that, I'm just trying to think back to who the last one was. And the last one I can think of is possibly Papa Boob Job. But I can't think of anyone similar sort of stature since him. RIP, obviously. I can't think of anyone of a similar sort of stature to him. Similar, not too similar. I know Boob Job was massive, wasn't he? About 6'4" or whatever he was. But I don't think Adams is far off that, is he? He's about 6 foot, 6'1". But anyway, good signs from that point of view. And I thought the last half hour what was positive is, although I was still nervous and felt we needed a second goal, we didn't look like conceding, and ultimately Schmidt was a spectator for the second half, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mousinho put it quite well, didn't he? He said we looked comfortable, but he wasn't confident. And I think that kind of sums it up. It could have been one of those, wouldn't it? It could have been one of those where we conceded a stupid goal at the last minute. But again, we now have our, I think, most people's first choice back four in place, and the keeper, obviously. I don't know when the last time that happened was, because obviously we had Schmidt out for a while, we've had Poole and Shocks out for a while, Ogilvie out for a while, all this season. So I haven't looked at the numbers, but I don't know when the last time that happened, when we had a good consistent run of games where we had all of our rear guard first choice in place.
Well, it was probably, just thinking about it now, it was probably just before when we, in fact, Devlin wouldn't have necessarily been playing at right back at that time, because he's only recently become the first choice at right back, hasn't he? But if you're just talking about first choice back four, which probably would have been Williams or Swanson at the time, is probably the last time we played Sheffield Wednesday, I would guess, because that's when Shaughnessy went out, and he hasn't played. He's only just come back, hasn't he? So I'd say probably that first handful of games in the season. So it is 3 points. It is a clean sheet, which are both positives. And the thing is, when you've had the Arsenal game, which was, we didn't expect much more, to be fair. We had a good performance. When you look at the Bristol City game, which was shocking, what you then tend to forget is over the last 6 games, form-wise, we're actually 6th in the league, form-wise, which is mental. 11 points from 6 games. Yeah, which is actually good.
The last 6 games, isn't it? We're 6th in the form guide. But even if you go back to the last 10 games, we're 14th, which isn't disastrous.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing is, so if we look at the last 6, we've gained 8 points on Southampton, 8 points on West Brom. Sorry, we've 5 points on Birmingham, Leicester, Blackburn. All teams that, not necessarily Leicester, but although actually Leicester could get dragged down into that if they get their point, depending on what their points deduction is going to be, they could well be dragged down into that sort of situation. So I think there's positive signs. The key now is to continue that, isn't it? Obviously, we've got Watford. By the time this comes out, Watford will be tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and then the little tasty Sunday lunchtime game down at Fratton Park, which now, ordinarily, looking at the team or the injuries that we have, I wouldn't be going into that game that confident. But actually, looking at Southampton's form, 3 points from the last 6. If you look, they've had their new manager bounce, didn't they? When he first came in, they had a bounce, but then it soon turned back to the form they've had. So they've only got 2 wins in 10. Their away form, 1 win in 6. I don't think they're going to fancy Fratton Park.
No, not at all. And especially not in the form they're in at the moment. The last thing you want to do when you're in a bad run of form is go down the road to your neighbours for a local derby, right? It's a massive banana skin for them. But then we know how things go, don't we? Who knows? Who knows what will happen? We'll either come out all guns blazing, or we'll go down a goal early and get trampled.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Our home form's decent, and one thing is that Fratton Park will be up for that game, 100%. It'll be like the Arsenal game, the atmosphere. It won't be like the Arsenal game at all. It'll be much more aggressive, and it'll be It'll be from the off. It'll be 10 minutes before the off. Fratton Park will be totally up for that game. So. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much about confidence going into it, but in the last, I don't know, however many years, maybe 10, 15, 20 years, it's probably the most confidence I've had going into a Southampton game.
And I think the players, as we know, the players respond to that as well, don't they? You look at your Pompey stalwarts, Poole and Shocks, obviously. Chaplin will be up for it, I'm expecting. I think Adams will be up for it if I wouldn't mind, or I wouldn't mind seeing Adams start, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him start. Depending obviously what happens in the Watford game. But I think you've got a core of players there that I think will be massively up for it and massively buoyed on by the crowd as well.
Yeah. Speaking of Adam's start, let's just go back very briefly to the Sheffield Wednesday game. I thought it was quite interesting that Swanson played centre midfield. I thought it was going to be Devlin. I didn't think he really had that great a game, but I don't think anyone did really first half, with maybe the exception of Ali. I'll be surprised if Adams doesn't start against Watford, or at least get more minutes than he did, which is harsh on Swanson because he's done well at left back, but he's you need centre midfielders who are centre midfielders, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And you can't blame him. He didn't have a great game, but again, out of position. And like I say, I think he did really well in that left back position, but completely different role, isn't it, there in the middle? Which kind of says a lot about our squad, doesn't it? When again we're fitting in full-backs into the central positions, but like I say, I think we'll see Adams start there on Wednesday or whatever it is, and hopefully, given all things being well, if he has a good game, I think he'll start there on Sunday.
Yeah, good. Okay, what do you think of the? Let's go Watford first. Watford are one of the few teams in the last 6 games who are above us in form. They're currently third, 4 wins, 1 defeat in the last 6. Don't concede a huge amount, and they're going all right, aren't they, at the moment? I know they lost their last game at home. I can't remember who it was to, but they lost it at home. Millwall, yes, that's right. Who are also actually in decent form. But how do you see that game going?
It's going to be a difficult one, isn't it? They've won 4 on the bounce, haven't they, before they lost to Millwall? And it's at Watford. So, it's going to be a difficult game for us. But I think we should approach that for a point. Let's go for a good defensive display, consolidate that 3 points against Sheffield Wednesday, and then go out all guns blazing against the neighbours.
The neighbours, very diplomatically put. Yeah, I agree. I'd take four points from the next 2 games. I would take, definitely. Yeah. I'd even take. No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not even going to say that. But 4 points from the next 2 games. I would be. If someone said now, look, you're going to lose to Watford, but you're going to beat Southampton, I'd take that. I'd take that now.
I think we'd all take that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I think most Pompey fans would take that.
Yeah. All right, so next up is Watford on Wednesday night, Southampton at the weekend. Any thoughts on any of the transfer rumours? We've got 2 over the line. One, obviously, Adams could be a good bit of business as he's on a perm. 500 grand isn't a bad deal, I don't think, if he turns out to be a decent player. The other lad is on obviously a short-term loan. There's a few rumours, isn't there? There's another winger who's rumoured a massive centre forward.
Who was the? I forget his surname. Nestor. Who was that I've seen his name floating?
The former AC Milan central defender.
I don't know how to spell it. How to pronounce
Alessandro
his
Nestor.
Elfege.
Yeah, is that that's the winger? Is it?
I don't know anything about him, to be honest. Centre forward, it says.
Oh, centre forward. That's the big fella. Yeah, he's about 6'4", isn't he?
Yeah,
maybe
6'5".
6'5", big lad.
6'5". Oh.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
It's my only concern. Ultimately, give everyone a benefit of the doubt till you see him in a Pompey shirt. But my only concern is both of those players are from overseas, aren't they? As in from overseas league, not played in the again. It just comes back to that pace of the Championship, the pace of English football. Full stop. It's not. You can't replicate it anywhere. Nowhere else is similar to English football, and it's that intensity in every single game. It's not as if you play a few and then you have a less intense game. Even if you look at Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the league, they've got -7 points. They've only won one game all season. You've still got that intensity in that game.
Yeah.
Your quality in that game, but there's still that level of intensity. So hopefully these guys, if they are going to come in, they're going to come in and they're going to get up to speed on that quickly. But we've seen it with Leroux and Kozlowski where they've struggled.
Yeah. Very true. But
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
we'll see. I think there was a few rumours going around about AFCON, wasn't there? Now that that's finished, that there might be a few more opportunities floating around, and I think Mousinho said that he's expecting to bring one more in at least before Southampton. So, let's see.
Well, I hear there's a certain Mohamed Salah who's out of favour at Liverpool, so you never know. Salah. Might fancy a little trip down to South Coast.
Yeah,
maybe. I want to stop, title chasing for championship relegation battle.
Yeah, maybe.
Talking nonsense now, aren't I? Anyway, let's stop talking nonsense. Seeing as Dan's left us again, you're gonna have to think of a 3% word. No one took up your 3% word last time, Tolly. So don't know why. A lot of the usuals weren't commenting. So come on, usuals, get back on it and let us know what you think of Tolly's 3% word, which is coming up very shortly. In the meantime, please consider subscribing to the Pompey Pod. That would be very nice if you did. Dan might be back next week. We'll see. Technology depending. Good thing is he doesn't get annoyed about it at all in any way.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on a 3% word, Tol?
So there's someone on Twitter that I've been looking at that's amused me because he's been tracking loads of aeroplanes flying from France to Southampton and then going, oh, here comes another private jet to Southampton with maybe another Pompey player from somewhere in France or whatever, which made me laugh because he's obviously taking the piss, but it's quite funny. So my 3% word is going to be flaps.
Okay.
As in aeroplane flaps. Right.
Aeroplane flaps. Yeah. What other sort of flaps are there? None spring to mind.
Letterbox flap.
A what flap?
Letterbox flap.
Letterbox. Yeah. There is that. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about apart from flaps?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Fabulous. Right. We have been the Pompey Pod. We'll be back to review the win against Watford and the win against Southampton next week. But in the meantime, play out Pompey. Goodbye.
Cheers, mate.